Hello everyone, I'm Ashley with Living Alloy Games, and we are so excited to share our new game, Jump the Shark, a Trope-tastic Story-building game with everyone here today. We just recently got in our prototypes and we are so excited about how they turned out, as well as have a few tweaks that we want to make for our next efforts, and we wanted to share everyone, especially as we're coming up on our Kickstarter in the next few months here. So let's go ahead and dive in. So let's take a look at our Jump the Shark prototype. The first thing you'll notice, of course, is that it is in this fantastic VHS box. That is one of the first things that people notice and smile about, and is definitely something that we want to keep as part of our manufacturing for the real deal. Something that just makes us smile, and we absolutely love having that. We have some pretty basic components here. Of course, the rule book. We have cards. We have a first player token. We have a score tracker, and then, of course, some scoring tokens. And I'll go over each of these in turn. First component to talk about is, of course, the card deck. This is the main component of the game and how you'll build your story as well as get all of your points. These cards are absolutely chock full of Easter eggs and cultural references from various TV shows and movies. We know that you'll have just as much fun looking through these and finding all of the references and the flavor text as well as the pictures as we did in putting them in. Now, there are 3 different types of cards that you'll be encountering in this deck. The first type are the character cards, which they are the stars of your show, your swashbucklers, your gunslingers, your time travelers, etc. You'll also have things that you'll find like love interests, mentors, villains. These are all the various characters, and they are the only way to score in your game as well as the primary way to get points. You also have cards like character arcs, which represent ways that a character evolves during the show. They provide effects related to the character that they are played on, and so there are a variety of character arcs that you'll see in the game as well. And then, of course, you also have your action cards, which represent events in the story and immediately produce the effects listed on the cards. Sometimes it involves killing a lot of people. Sometimes it involves resurrecting people from the dead. Sometimes it involves stealing cards from your opponents. Lots of fun things here. We know that you'll have a lot of fun just looking at the card deck, much less playing it. Here we've got our round tracker, which is pretty self-explanatory. In future episodes, I'll explain what these various symbols mean, but you get the idea from that. We also have our first player token, which switches around depending on during each round for a different first player. We thought having a director's chair was very apropos. This particular one was done in acrylic, and we love how the colors turned out. We like how the director's chair is, and there's a lot of fun aspects about it. But there were some things that we didn't love about it either. The acrylic with even following all the instructions to get it to fit, it just didn't quite work, and we had to glue it together, so we don't love the look of that. It may be simpler, and it's certainly less expensive in terms of overall components to do a standard chipboard standee. We're still looking at options for that. Maybe we'll consider doing acrylic as a stretch goal, not sure, but that's what that basically is. And lastly, we have our score tokens. These guys here are the ones that came with the actual prototypes. They're just standard cardboard chits. And you can see they have these cute little sharks on them with little 1s and 2s. First thing we noticed is the 1s and 2s are pretty small. We'd like to have them bigger. They also should definitely be different colors so you can tell them apart a little bit easier since they all kind of look the same. One of those lessons learned as you create your prototypes. We'd also would like to have a 5 token in there just for some of those higher scoring games. And so that's the basics of what we've had with the actual prototype. But one other option that we've been looking at that we've really liked are these 3D printed resin tokens. So these guys we printed out, painted, and are dry brushed with silver and gold. So they're a little bit darker instead of the fun, bright colors that we have with the rest of the game. So that's a consideration, but they also just look really cool and have a nice feel to them. So we're considering doing this as potentially as part of our Kickstarter stretch goals. We might have some resin tokens. We might still go with the chipboards, but these have been the things that we've been playing with our friends and family as well as during playtesting sessions. So this is a really compelling item to go with as well. And that, friends, is our prototype of Jump the Shark. One last thing to mention is, as you probably noticed on the game cover as well as the cards themselves, is yes, we did use quite a bit of AI art as we prototyped this game. For all the obvious reasons, we're not going to use AI art for the final prototype, and we've been in talks with various artists now to see who we want to use to do our final artwork. And I really enjoy sharing that with you in future installments. In the meantime, this is the basic prototype. We hope you've enjoyed this sneak peek of what we've been working on. And if you have any comments or ideas about other things that we should include or have as part of this prototype or upgrades that we could have, we would love to hear about it. Feel free to shoot us a line on or a message in our social media. We're on both Instagram as well as Facebook at Living Alloy Games.